नमस्कार दोस्तों, बिगनर्स माइंड में आपका स्वागत है। अभी हम कर रहे हैं इंग्लिश की करंट करंट अफेयर्स। ये वीक में 2 बार आएगी। एक आएगी वेडनेसडे को और एक आएगी संडे को। ठीक है, तो अपने दोस्तों को भी शेयर कर देना, फ्रेंड्स वगैरह को शेयर कर देना और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लेना। ठीक है, स्टार्ट करते हैं हम नेशनल से। पहली है फर्स्ट टॉपिक आ जाता है नेशनल का। 17 इंडियन वर्कर्स lured into unsafe work in Laos. Way back home, EAM S. Jaishankar, EAM External Affairs Minister. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar on Saturday, 6 April 2024 said 17 Indian workers who were lured into unsafe and illegal work in Laos are on their way back home. In a social media post, Dr. Jaishankar lauded Indian Embassy in Laos and thanked Lao authorities for their support for safe repatriation. दोबारा वापस लेके आ गए हैं इनको। 17 लोग जो थे, 17 इंडियन वर्कर्स को वापस निकाल लिया है। Indian approves highest ever export quota essential commodities to Maldives under bilateral mechanism. As India approved highest ever export quota for essential commodities to Maldives under a bilateral mechanism, Foreign Affairs Minister Musa Jamir thanked External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar for the move. Taking to social media platform X, he said that this is a gesture which signifies the long-standing friendship and the strong commitment to further expand bilateral trade and commerce between the two countries. The approved quantities are said to be highest since 1981 when the mechanism was put in place. RBI projects consumer price index inflation for this fiscal at 4.5. Consumer price index CPI 4.5. The reverse The Reserve Bank of India has said the consumer price index inflation for 2024-25 is projected at 4.5%. RBI Governor Shaktikant Das, while announcing the bi-monthly monetary policies today, said the CPI inflation had peaked at 7.8% in April 2022. He added that even though inflation has come down significantly, it remains above the 4% target given by the government. The governor added real GDP growth for 2024-25 is projected at 7%, with quarter 1 at 7.1%, quarter 2 at 6.9%, quarter 3 at 7.0%, and quarter 4 also at 7%. The apex bank has kept the repo rate unchanged for the seventh time in a row. The governor informed that India's foreign exchange reserves reached at all-time high of 645.6 billion dollars as of March 29 March this year. RBI to soon allow to deposit cash through cash deposit machines using UPI. Reserve Bank of India will soon allow to deposit cash through cash deposit machines using UPI. Till now, UPI is mainly used for money withdrawal or money transfer. Governor Shaktikant Das today said this measure will further enhance customer convenience and make the currency handling process at bank more efficient. RBI has also proposed to permit the use of third-party UPI apps for making UPI payments for prepaid payment instruments (PPI) wallets. This will further enhance customer convenience and boost the adaptation of digital payments for small value transactions. Mr. Das said RBI is making central bank digital currency CBDC retail essential to non-bank payment accessible to non-bank payment system operators. This will also facilitate testing of resiliency of the CBDC platform to handle multi-channel transactions. RBI will also launch a mobile app for assessing the retail direct portal. This will be a greater convenience to retail investors and deepen the GSEC market, Mr. Das said, with a view to facilitate wider non-resident participation in sovereign green bonds. A scheme for investment and trading in these bonds in the IFSC will be notified shortly. UGC interest high educational institution to create awareness amongst students about toll-free mental health helpline. University Grants Commission has interest, interacted all higher educational institutions to create awareness among the students about the ability of a toll-free mental health helpline. The Commission, in a circular to all the vice chancellors of universities and principal of all colleges, noted that Health Ministry Telemanas Telemanas Mental Health Helpline has performed commendably well since its launch, and it further needs to be popularized amongst the masses. The Commission requested the higher educational institution to widely publicize the Telemanas helpline, stating that it is free of cost and available 24 into 7. The Telemental Health Assurance and Networking Telemanas. This full form of Telemanas is Tele Mental Health Assurance and Networking Initiative was launched by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare on World Mental Health Day in 2022. This initiative aims to provide around the clock support and assistance to those struggling with mental health issues. CBSE introduced change in assessment and evaluation to align with National Education Policy 2020. Central Board of Secondary Education has introduced change in assessment and evaluation to align with the National Education Policy 2020. The format will now be based on more competency based questions and fewer constructed response questions. As per the revised guidelines, the competency focused questions in the form of multiple choice questions or case based questions, source based integrated questions, or any other type in class 11 and 12 have been increased from 40% to 50%. On the other hand, the constructed response questions, including short answer questions and long answer type questions, as per the existing pattern, have been reduced from 40% to 30% in the 2024-25 academic sessions. The evaluation percentage for the select response type questions will remain the same, which is 20%. However, no changes have been made to the composition of questions paper for year-end examination for class 9 and 10th for the new academic session 2024-25. Indian Coast Guard saves 8 fishermen from the C-95 NM of Chennai. This logo of Indian Coast Guard. The Indian Coast Guard saved 8 fishermen from the C-95 NM of Chennai in a rescue mission. Out of the 10 crew in the fishing boat, 8 were rescued alive by an operation coordinated by the Coast Guard today. In a release, the Coast Guard stated that a search was on for the missing fisherman. Another fisherman who was rescued in critical conditions could not be saved. It had received a distress call that the boat had earlier developed flooding due to a hole inside the boat in rough seas. Later, the Coast Guard diverted the merchant vessels passing nearby to rescue the fishing vessels and brought the rescued fishermen to Chennai port. MEA issues advisory for Indian nationals traveling to Cambodia for employment. The External Affairs Ministry EAM has issued an advisory to caution Indian national traveling to Cambodia for employment asking them to do so only through authorized agents. कौन से जो authorized agent हैं केवल authorized agents. In its advisory, the ministry said that Indian nationals lured by fake promises of lucrative job opportunities in Cambodia are falling into the trap of human traffickers. These Indian nationals are co-eds to undertake online financial scams and other illegal activities. The ministry has advised people to thoroughly check the background of the prospective employers in the country. Through the Indian mission in Phnom Penh, the External Affairs Ministry is working closely with the Cambodian authorities to address the issue and provide continuous assistance to the affected Indian nationals. The first batch of people under the G2G agreement have gone to Israel, MEA said this. The External Affairs Ministry today said the first batch of people under the G2G agreement have gone to Israel. Briefing media in New Delhi this afternoon, Ministry spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal stressed that India is conscious of their safety and has urged to Israeli authorities to ensure their safety and well-being. The workers have gone to Israel as a part of mobility agreement that India signed with Israel. The agreement predates the ongoing conflict in the region. Replying to another query, the spokesperson said India has noted with concern the Israel attack on Iranian diplomatic premises in Syria on the 1st of April. He said India is distressed at the escalating tensions in West Asia and their potential to fuel further violence and instability. India has urged all parties to avoid actions that go against commonly accepted principles and norms of international law. Replying to questions on China claiming Arunachal Pradesh, the spokesperson said that Arunachal Pradesh is an inalienable part of India and will remain so. On India-Bangladesh ties, Mr. Jaiswal said bilateral relations are very strong. He said both nations have a very comprehensive partnership that spans across sectors. On the two Indians who were reported missing after the Taiwan earthquake, Mr. Jaiswal said that they are now safe and contact has been established with them. CBI coordinate return on of NIA wanted Sohakat Ali from Saudi Arabia. Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI) has coordinated the return of NIA wanted Shaukat Ali from Saudi Arabia. Ali is one of the 18 people who were charged sheeted by NIA in a case involving smuggling of over 18 kg gold bars from Saudi Arabia to Jaipur. CBI coordinate with Saudi Arabia's National Central Bureau Riyadh by Interpol channel to ensure the return Shaukat Ali. CBI has the National Centre Bureau for Interpol in India, coordinates with all law enforcement agencies in India for assistance by Interpol channels. Agni Prime missile. Agni Prime missile has been successfully flight tested in Odisha. Agni Prime missile has been successfully flight tested in Odisha yesterday. The flight test was conducted by Strategic Forces Command (SFC) along with Defence Research and Development Organisation (DRDO) from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam island off the coast of Odisha. According to the Defence Ministry, new generation ballistic missile Agni Prime met all the trial objectives, validating its reliable performance. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh has congratulated DRDO, SFC, and the forces for the successful test. He said that the successful development and indication of the missile will be an excellent force multiplier for the armed forces. International news: Microsoft warns of China's design to disrupt upcoming election in India. Microsoft has warned that China is gearing up to disrupt the upcoming elections in India, the United States, and South Korea by using artificial intelligence generated content. The warning comes after China conducted a trial run during Taiwan's presidential election, employing AI to influence the outcome. Across the world, at least 64 countries, in addition to the European Union, are accepted to hold national elections this year. These countries collectively account for approximately 49% of the global population. According to Microsoft threat intelligence team, Chinese state-backed cyber groups, along with involvement from North Korea, are expected to target several elections scheduled for 2024. Microsoft said that China will likely deploy AI-generated content by social media to sway public opinion in favor of their interest during these elections. The threat posed by political advertisement ads employing AI technology to produce deceptive and false content, including deep fakes or fabricating events that never took place, is significant in a crucial poll year. Such tactics aim to mislead the public regarding candidates' statements, stance on various issues, and even the authenticity of certain events. If followed to unchecked, these manipulative attempts have the potential to undermine voters' ability to make well-informed decisions. Mexico suspends relations with Ecuador after arrest of former Vice President George Glass. Mexico has suspended relations with Ecuador after arrest of former Ecuadorian Vice President George Glass by Ecuadorian authorities from the Mexican embassy in Puerto on Friday, 5th April 2024 evening. George Glass, convicted twice for corruption, has been holed up in the embassy in Puerto since seeking political asylum in December, arguing, arguing he was being persecuted by the Attorney General's office. In a social media post, Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador said police forcefully entered Mexico's embassy in Puerto before making the arrest. The Mexican president called Glass detention an authoritarian act and a flagrant violation of international law and the sovereignty of Mexico. He said he had instructed Mexico's foreign minister to suspend diplomatic ties with Ecuador. Earlier, Ecuador's presidency said that Ecuador is a sovereign national nation and they are not going to allow any criminal to stay free. NATO celebrates 75 years of collective defense across Europe and North America. NATO is celebrating 75 years of collective defense across Europe and North America today at a cake cutting ceremony in Brussels. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken and his counterparts will mark the moment the alliance founding territory founding treaty was signed on April 4, 1949 in Washington. A bigger celebration is planned when NATO leaders meet in Washington from 9 July to 11 July. The alliance ranks have almost tripled over more than 7 decades from its 12 founding members. That promise Article 5 of the Washington Treaty, which has been shipped to Brussels for the ceremony, stipulates that an attack on one of their number must be met with a united response. It's only ever been used once after the Qaeda attacks on US soil in Al Qaeda attacks on US soil in 2001. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said on the eve on the anniversary that the NATO was founded on a single Solomon promise. An attack on one ally is an attack on all. Blinken described NATO as a defensive alliance with no design on the territory of any other country, but with the determination to protect the territory to each of its member and to do it any way that has been unique in human history. At the other end of the scale lies the operation in Afghanistan. NATO took command of the security effort in 20, 2003 and it became the longest, costliest, and deadliest in alliance history. It was marked by a chaotic retreat in August 2021. Now in business news. Crude oil prices witnessed significant rise in last few days amid simmering tensions in West Asia. Crude oil prices have been seen a significant rise in the last few days amid simmering tensions in West Asia concern over tightening supply and expectations about demand and growth as economic improve. Saturday's benchmark Brent crude oil traded at $91.17 a barrel, rising over 4% for the week. Apart from geopolitical tensions, healthy economic growth of the US and signs of economic recovery in China have also boosted crude oil prices. This year so far, Brent crude prices have jumped over 18%. Asia 50 lakh users in the country are using central bank digital currency, says RBI. Reserve Bank of India has said that currently around 50 lakh users in the country are using central bank digital currency CBDC, out of which 46 lakh are retail customers, while 4 lakh are merchants. On cumula- cumulative basis, 2.2 crore transactions have been completed on CBDC. RBI Deputy Governor T. Ravi Shankar had said that testing of offline uses of CBDC is going on a pilot basis. Programmability of CBDC has begun today, under which a certain amount in the form of CBDC has been transferred to a farmer who can use it only for the purchasing on agricultural related products. India approves highest ever export quotas for essential commodities to Maldives for 2024-25. India has approved highest ever export quotas for essential commodities to Maldives for 2024-25 under a unique bilateral mechanism. Indian High Commission in Maldives said in a release that upon the request of the Maldives government, India has allowed for export of certain quantities for essential commodities and the quotas have been revised upwards. The approved quantities are highest since this agreement came into effect in 1981. The quota for river sand and stone aggregates crucial items for the booming constructions industry in the Maldives have been increased by 25% to 10 lakh tons. There has also been an increase of 5% in the quotas for eggs, potatoes, onions, sugar, rice, wheat flour, and pulses. Last year as well, India continued export of rice, sugar, and onions to the Maldives in spite of a worldwide ban on export of these items for India. The High Commission said that India remains strongly committed to supporting human-centric development in the Maldives as part of its neighborhood first policy. Income tax returns (CBDT) facilitated taxpayers to file ITRs for assessment years 2024-25 from 1st April 2024 onwards. The Central Board of Direct Taxes (CBDT) has facilitated taxpayers to file their income tax returns (ITRs) for assessment year 2024-25 from the 1st April 2024 onwards. The ITRs like ITR 1, ITR 2, and ITR 4, commonly used by taxpayers, are available on the e-filing portal from the 1st of this month to file returns. Companies will also be able to file their ITRs through ITR 6. The CBDT has said that about 23,000 ITRs for assessment years 2024-25 have already been filed till date, and facility to file ITR 3, 5, and 7 will be made available shortly. It added that this is for the first time in recent times that the Income Tax Department has enabled taxpayers to file their returns on the first day of the new financial year. This is another gained step towards easy of compliance and seamless taxpayers service. Oil prices remain stable today amid worries of lower supply. Oil prices remained stable today amid worries of lower supply due to ongoing output cuts by major producers and indications of robust economic expansion in the US. The crude oil futures was down at $89.24, whereas Western tax intermediate was lower at $85.30 when reports last came in. And that current affairs is end. Subscribe channel and share with your friends. Thank you.